Martinez. He's coming from Spain, and he's also faculty for Spain,
Yes.
and the PRO office for the IPC, USA, correct? So we are very happy that you want to share his knowledge. Thank you, Pablo, and I'm curious. Thank you.
I will try to explain something about the TMJ. First of all, I want to thank you because I'm glad to be here sharing my knowledge to all of you. So thank you for coming. First of all, I want to say that I'm a physical therapist. I work in Murcia, a town which is in the south of Spain, and I work with my pal, Asun Esteve, with whom I have a school called at Makine, and we do several courses. We have been working since 1998 as a physical therapist, and we have known that several of our patients have a problem that has a beginning in one area which is close to the mouth that we call TMJ. Okay? So I'm going to talk about this area a little, and then I will explain some more about that. This area, this joint, is a very particular joint because its movement is not hinged, it's sliding. So for doing that, we need several different parts of it, and the most important is a meniscus that's in the middle. Because we have this, we can do all the movements that this joint can do without any problems. But all the muscles, which I will talk later in this area, when some of them got in stress, this meniscus will block. It will make difficult the movement. Pain will appear and the movements will be so difficult to do as normal. Okay? I want to show you a video of what happened when we open and close our mouth. We have several muscles. I will talk later about them. Most of the important ones are the temporal, the masseter.
Can you talk a little bit louder?
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I thought I was louder enough, but I will talk louder. Okay? Here you can see the meniscus. Okay?
Meniscus.
It's in here. So, while we move the joint, it will move through this area. We have two minimal muscles we call the pterygoids that help this movement and this kind of tissue that brings it back to their own position. When we have stress in this area, these muscles will block, the meniscus will not do its own movement. Can you see? This is the normal movement. We have muscles outside the mouth, inside the mouth. And all of them do this movement. They open and close. Here you see the pterygoids. And here is again the movement of the meniscus of the joint. It is a sliding movement, okay? I want to say it again. And so, what muscles are in here? We have the masseter in here and the temporalis. The masseter is one of the muscles that has most force in the body. It can do a grease of 19 kilos, but at the same time, they are so precise in the contraction because you can peel a seed only cracking the shell without not cracking what it is inside. So they are so precise. How does it work? Because we have a lot of these sensitive things inside of here to do this kind of movement. If we got a lot of this information coming from this area, a lot of the stress can stay here. Okay? We have the temporal and the masseter that do the closing. And for do the opening, we have the pterygoids. Okay? That's inside. I will show you them later. Now I'm going to talk to you about the connective tissue or fascia. Yesterday, Marilyn talked about this book, Anatomy Trends, by Thomas Myers. He's a chiropractor who has done a lot of works, and one of them was to do surgery in dead bodies and release all the muscles to left only the connective tissue. And he has shown us that we have this fascia or this connective tissue that holds a lot of muscles in one thing that he called chains. We have a lot of different chains that do the several movements in the body. And at the same time, they connect different parts of the body with another kind of element, the tissue. When we do an impulse in one of this area, it moves so fast to another reflex point. This is how we could explain some of the reflection that we use in Touch for Health, they work, because when we do an impulse on one area, it will move so fast to another. Okay? We have one of these connective tissue, one of these chains, the back one, the start at the bottom of the neck and goes through the back and ends on the big tube. Okay? If we do an impulse in this area, it will go through all this and get to the top of the tube. Okay? Another person who has talked about these chains is a woman called Godelieve Denise Straff. She's German, and his work is about talking all these chains and how they show us how the person is. We have 6, two of them are in here, 6 different chains that shows different patterns of how we develop every day of our lives. Relating to that, I'm going to talk about the several chains and how they express themselves. One of them is the anterior medial chain. It belongs to the muscles that in the front body and main on the right side of the body. And these muscles are responsible for the stability of the body. The pelvis, the thorax, and the feet. When they work properly, the rest of the body can perform their own function. This is dominant on the right, and this chain works when we lean back, bring us towards, to the right position. Okay? When this chain is overworking, we see this position of the person. And this chain is related in the traditional medicine to the earth element. It is related with nutrition, reflection, taking care, and with the role of mother. In the fire element, we have 2 different chains. One which is related to the emperor fire, and one another which is related to the minister fire. The emperor fire is the posterior-anterior chain. It is located in the central area of the trunk, close to the spine, both in front and behind, but mostly in the posterior area. They perform the axial elongation of the spine, and some of the muscle of this chain is the length of the spine, the multifidus that is close to the spine, and the transverse of the abdomen. This is the anti-gravity chains for balance and bipedal stance. Behaviorally, this is the chain of reactivity. You know, when you have something that's coming up and you react against that. I saw that in traditional Chinese medicine, it is related to the emperor fire. And this chain, when the posterior and the anteromedial, which I will talk later, they are in balance, each chain let us to rise the sky, to achieve our spiritual connection. And then we have the anteroposterior muscles. They are located too in the central part of the body, both in front and behind, but in a higher percent in the front area of the body. This change maintains the alternation between one chain and another of the other chains that I will talk later. It is formed by the balancing muscles of the body, and we must ensure that if it always functions, this main function is in the lordosis. When this chain is overloaded, we will see this posture in the person. Behaviorally, this chain is related to the emotion. This is the chain of emotionality. In traditional Chinese medicine, it is related to the ministerial fire, responsible for flexibility, good communication between all levels, and when it works, we have good adaptation and connection between the spirituality and the earthly. When they work together, we have the posterior, anterior, posterior chain. It is a combination of these two, and together, behaviorally, we call them the chain of impulsivity. We say when fire element is in excess, it dominates the reason, overflowing emotions and making us acting without roots. We have two muscles that are the most important in the relationship between them, which are the diaphragm and the quadratus lumborum. These muscles are both PA and AP. This is the relation between both. We have the posterior medial chain. This is located in the posterior and central area of the body. You can see here. And this chain is responsible for the bipedal stance and is dominant on the left side of the body. It is a chain of verticality, but not the one that performs axial extension of the spine against the gravity, which is done by the PA and AP. When we have an extension pattern, behaviorally, it's marked the need for action and competition. You know the people that wants to fight against everything? Okay? This chain is shown when you see a leader, a warrior, or the military. Okay? It's people that is fighting against the world. In Chinese traditional medicine, it's related to water, and we associate it with the fear of losing, with the competition, and going forward, and the willing to fight. The anterolateral muscles, they are related to the metal in the Chinese traditional medicine. They are located in the front and the lateral of the body, and this is the closing chain. When it works, you can see the people who is closed. When we do this behavior, when we need to be with ourselves, this is the chain of emotionality. When it activates, it makes a flexion pattern. We close everything. It makes to move, to close and internal rotation. This is related to the metal element with internalization, which is going inside to be able to experience the sadness and sorrow. And the last one is the posterolateral muscles. They are located in the posterolateral area of the body. This is the opposite of the last one. This is the opening change. You see the image of the person? In most of the body regions, you can see the muscles, they do the opening and the external rotation. And moving the things away from oneself. Behaviorally is the chain of extroversion. This kind of people who is always outside from themselves. So it is related to the Buddha element with externalization, expression, and communication of the internal to the external. The muscles that make up each of these families have similar fiber direction. They are contained in common and interconnected fascia, which is what Thomas Mayer and Godelic-Dennis Strap, GDS, says. When they appear to move, we can see how the person develops their staff, and we can put them in a group or another. So they will help us to work with them, because when there is an imbalance, we can see where is the imbalance and to make it rebalance again. We have different psychocomportamental pulse, and they're expressed in the body through the activation of different kind of muscles. I'm talking about the TNJ, so I'm going to talk about the muscles that are related to these chains in the body. We have talked about the masseter and the temporalis. We have the masseter, which is anterolateral, but to do his own job, he has another chain to work together to make good relations, because if we have not a good relation between them, this area will start to have problems in there. We have some of these muscles that come from the anteromedial chain, and all of them, the masseter and the temporalis, who come from the anterolateral. So the relationship between these two chains will show us how the stress is in this area. Okay? When we do this movement to open and close the mouth, we have these big muscles that are related to the inner ones, and so this relationship will show us how the stress is kept in this area. If we release the stress on this area, this information will flow over the chains, and we'll have an answer in the rest of the body. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh. We can do several techniques in here. Some of them are physically, some of them are energetically, and we have to work with the emotions, because the emotions are a very important part of our body. When we have an emotion, we have some fluids, some neurotransmitters which are released into the body, and this area is one of them. It's a keeper of this kind of fluids. It's like a beam of the body. We put all the bad substances in this area. Okay? If we start to move all the elements that are in here and relax the muscles, we have an impulse that will go through all the connected tissue to the rest of the body, and we have our response to relaxing.
Can I ask something?
Yes, please.
I don't understand what is stored there. Is that something biological or emotions?
No, it's biological.
Okay.
Okay? We have some stores in the body. One is the psoas, and the other one is in here. Heavy metals, all of the consequences of the stress in the body that releases bad substances are kept in the psoas and in this area. Okay? So it will do a release of the tension and the things that are kept in here. You will have a response in the rest of the body. Okay? Does it answer you?
Yeah, but I was wondering, like the story of my line yesterday is like the de-armoring of the jaw will also bring maybe emotions.
Mm-hmm.
So I was wondering, is it emotion or is it biological?
No, it's biological.
Yes.
Okay?
Thanks.
Yeah. This is because all the tension that is kept in these muscles, and the muscles that are inner, and the meniscus, because this stress will hold in here and will make so much tension, and it will block. So it will hurt this area and will make some pain, and it will go through the chains to all the rest of the body. Okay?
Pablo?
Yes? Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Proceed.
When you say in this area, is it masseter or all the muscles in this area?
Most of them is the masseter. Okay?
Yeah, I know. When you say this area,
Yes.
is it only masseter or other muscles also in this area?
I think the masseter is the most important muscle, the beam in this area. So all the heavy metals are kept in here. So we'll do a physical and energetic technique to these muscles to release all these heavy metals and the rest of the things that are keeping there. Yes? When we talk about emotions, we have good emotions and bad emotions. And every time we have an experience, we can have an answer of good emotions or not good emotions. But all of them are in the body. And all of them release some substances that are moving through our body. How we develop them is the answer we will have in the rest of the body. If we live the experience being enthusiastic, inspired, joyful, our body will release all the stress and we'll be so happy and living. But in another way, if we come here down, all bad substances will appear and will get so stressed in the muscle of the rest of the body. I'm going to talk to you. Yes, please.
It's a question about another slide. The heavy metals. What do you mean by heavy metals?
The music band?
Yeah, heavy metal music.
Heavy metal is a music, but no. When you eat, there are bad substances that are kept in the things that you eat.
Yeah.
Okay. So this.
It's
some
like
of
your
them are
feelings of your teeth, for example. Is it also?
yes,
So
if you eat fish, there are a lot of bad substances. Maybe when you do the surgery in your teeth. Yes. So,
Thank you.
Tata steel.
Data steel, yeah.
okay.
Yeah, thank you, Pablo.
So to talk a little about the impact of the stress on the body. This is a normal situation. Your muscles will move in this area. When you are so relaxed, you come so close to the zero tone. The basal tone of the muscles of the body, when we are no stress, is around number 15. But we are living. We have so stress in our lives. Okay? When it is continued, our body changes and moves to another place because we have continual muscular contraction because our body can't relax. And in some moment, it learns, okay, this is now normal in my life, but it is maybe a waste of energy constantly. But we live in here. When we are in stress and go to rest, our body now completely relaxed because our muscles are in a contraction mode. We are spending energy and we think that we are having a rest. We need to release all the stress to come back here, to completely have a relaxing and recover our energy during the sleeping time. Do you understand what I mean? Yes? Okay. I want to show you a practice. Each one of you, in your sitting place, we're going to play a little. First of all, I will ask you to notice if you have any pain in your body. Maybe in your head, maybe in your mouth, maybe in your neck.
Must it be pain or can it also be tension?
Tension, pain, okay? Less movement. So, let's touch it. Because we need to put a number of the tension that we have from 0 to 10. Or about pain, or if you don't have enough movement. Can you take a minute to do that? Look for your pain in your body. Maybe it's not in this area, it's far away. We're going to play. Can you have a look about yourselves? You can stand up and see if there is less movement in the area, if there is tension, if you have any pain. And please, touch it, because we want to localize it, because we want to release it. You have it? Okay, thank you. First of all, we need to take some water, because when we're working with the body needs water.
Even niet bij de hand.
need to stand up to show how the pain, if it appears in some areas, you can do it, please.
Okay.
You can objectively evaluate the pain with a number from 0 to 10, where 10 is the most important pain that you have in your life. Okay. Yes? You have all noticed our pains?
Yeah.
Let's start with the practice. First of all, we're going to press the myofascial tension release point on the face. They are between large intestine 19 and the stomach 30. This in here. And I want you to press it hardly. It will hurt, but not so much time, okay? So press it hardly. And we will stay here maybe for 2 or 3 minutes until the pain will release. Be careful with yourself, but it will hurt for a few minutes, okay? So press it, please. Yes. It's only pressure. We are making an impulse of all the frontal fascia. So do it and breathe. Paying attention to your breathing. And pay your attention to what's happening between your fingers in this area. This is hurting, this is hurting less, this stress is releasing. Yes. Yes. So stay there, you're doing very nice. So press hardly, okay? Yes. After that we will take a photo. Okay, let's stay 30 seconds more and we'll change. Yes, press hardly. We need to make a big impulse in this fascia to release the stress in the rest of the body. Yes, breathe in and breathe out. Slowly, gently. We can stop doing that. And now we're going to do another part of the session. We're going to touch the Coperno-Person trend with a soft touch, with a neutral one, okay? With 2 fingers, with your entire hand. Let's touch it. And if you want, you can close your eyes, okay? And we'll do a little meditation about that. I will ask you to imagine a white light that enters from your fingers and goes down through your head and your entire body. Think that this light fills you with the sensation of feeling supported by life, with all the resources you need at every moment, and giving thanks for it to God, to the universe, and to yourself. And let's stay here for a few moments, just breathing in and breathing out, and paying my attention to the breath movement. Imagine this white light that enters your body and fills all of the cells in there. you can move gently your hand, and we're going to do the last part of the session. Let's place the tip of the 5 fingers all together and put all of them in front of the TMJ. Okay? This is in front of our ears, and touch it softly. Softly. And again, pay your attention to your breathing. We'll stay here for 3 minutes. Maybe you can feel a pulse between the fingers. So we will wait until it goes so fluid. You can stay with your eyes closed, or you can open them. So pay attention to your breathing, to your feeling in the tips of your fingers. If you can feel the pulse and it is synchronized, stay here for a moment. Minute more. Please pay attention for your breathing. And if you can feel the pulse, if they are synchronized. Now you can gently remove your hands and take a deep breath. Opening your eyes and bringing your awareness back in here, just now. Thank you. Now it's time to check again how the pain is. Can you try the movements and see what's happening? Somebody wants to talk what's happened? It's time to do that.
Yeah, it's really changed.
Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. How do you feel? Yes? Okay. Now if you have any questions?
What did we just do?
Do the magic. Magic for her. It's only the tissue talking.
It's wonderful.
Yes. You do an impulse and it goes through all the connected tissue and it's really fast.
But this is the masseter.
What?
This is the masseter?
No, the muscle is in here.
Yeah. But what do we push then? Here. Which muscle it is?
No, this is not a point.
It's the acupressure point.
This is an acupressure point.
Yeah.
It's not a muscle because the muscle is behind it.
Okay.
Okay.
Because it gets really painful and hot.
Yes.
But is that the pressure you push against it?
Mm-hmm.
The way you activate
Yes.
the release of the
As much pressure as you put in here, mass impulse go through the fascia and the mass answer you have. Okay.
It's important to explain that to any client you have on the table because they will get hurt.
I usually explain and they do the technique.
Yeah.
Because if you press them, they will feel that you are hurting them.
So you make them
So,
self-responsible.
Yes, because we are talking about self-responsibility. I explain the technique and I stay there because if it's so heavy, it's so painful, I took the stress release point in here. And it helps the client to do it in a safer place. Okay? So, but if they do that, it will be better.
Yeah,
Okay?
so it's the self-responsible model again.
Yes. So if you don't have any question, I want to thank you. If you need information about our courses, here's my mail, and here's the page of school. This is in Spain, but we are allowed to move everywhere. So, we don't have passport problems, so we can go whatever we need. Okay? So thank you very much.
For summary, 3 minutes. There?
More or less, until hurting disappears.
Okay?
Around 3 to 5 minutes. Then the second point, around 3 minutes, you will feel a pulse. And then the other one, about 3 minutes. About the pulses, will bring together. They are synchronized. It's a really fast technique.
This is my experience. I just felt my tears rolling down and I was wondering why. Actually, I had an accident 30 years ago. It was a very bad accident. This bone was broken on my right side and I was unconscious for about an hour or something. And for the first time, my body felt that I'm attending to that. And that's why I had the tears.
Does this relate somehow to the reset technique?
We started several years ago doing the reset technique, but the reset technique is only energetic. We felt that we was losing something because when you do only an energetic technique, sometimes the students notice the thing that you are doing. So we started to do more physical techniques and we have a different answer for the client. And we pay special attention to the emotions. What Rosita has said, every time you are working with body, an emotion will appear. If you help the client to release the stress that makes the feeling or the emotion, the final intention of the session will increase the power. So, thank you very much for coming.